Hi everyone, this is Knowledge Topper, and in this particular video we will understand the purchase of treasury stock and how you can record the transaction related to it as well. I have made a very good example for you guys, so we will understand this with the help of an example, as I already explained you guys with the help of an example. But before moving towards the main, if you didn't subscribe our channel Knowledge Topper yet, please do subscribe our channel Knowledge Topper, as well as like our Facebook page, and do join our Facebook group as well. You will find a lot of good material related to these topics as well as from other courses as well. So let's get into this video. Mainly there are two methods when it comes to the purchase of treasury stock, and these two methods are used for accounting treatment of treasury stock. One is the cost method and the other is the par value method, and in this video we will learn purchase of treasury stock under the cost method. Okay, so here is an example for you guys. Remember few key things when understanding the purchase of treasury stock under cost method. Like under cost method, the treasury stock account is debited. As you can see right here, the treasury stock account is debited and the cash account is credited with the amount. Okay, as per the amount that you whatever amount is given to you, you should record according to that. Okay, you debited the treasury stock account and credited the cash account with the amount paid for acquiring the shares of treasury stock. The par value, there's one important thing to remember. Like the par value of shares is ignored for recording the purchase of treasury stock under cost method. Okay, for example, Eastern Company repurchases 2,500. Remember, there is repurchase. Okay, for example, Eastern Company repurchases 2,500 shares of its own common stock from stockholders. The par value per share is $10 and the company reacquires it for $80. So the entry for this transaction would be made as follows. Like as I already told you, the par value of shares is ignored. Okay, so we will just multiply 2,500 shares with $80 and we will get 2 lakh. And as I already told you, how you can record a certain transaction, treasury stock is debited and cash is credited. Okay, now what or how you will prepare balance sheet according to this certain transaction. If we talk about the balance sheet presentation, treasury stock is not an asset. Okay, remember, it is a contra equity account and it is reported as a deduction in the stockholders equity. As you can see, this is the stockholders equity section, and there's a treasury stock which is we can exclude it. Okay, we can less it, we can subtract it from the subtotal. So it is a contra equity account and it is reported as a deduction in the stockholders equity section of the balance sheet. As I already discussed in above example, treasury stock purchased by Eastern Company, it should appear in the balance sheet as follows. You just write common stock details in your stockholders equity at first, then you will move towards additional paid in capital. In short, we say APIC. Okay, then you total it and write the total. We say that total is total paid in capital. Then you must include retained earnings. Okay, in our example it is 12 lakh. Okay, then you subtotal it. It is $42 lakh, and at the end you will less, or you can say you will deduct the treasury stock transaction that we prepare. It is for $2 lakh, so your total stockholders equal lakh dollars. Okay, so that's how you can prepare balance sheet presentation. Now moving towards our second part, which is the reissuance of treasury stock. Remember, in previous slide we understand the repurchase. Okay, now we move towards and now we understand the reissuance. So what is the treatment related to reissuance of treasury stock under cost method? The shares in treasury stock may be reissued at any time. Okay, remember that. The general entries, however, for this purpose are given below. Like if treasury stock is reissued at a price above costs, we are looking our second part, which is treasury stock is reissued at a price above cost. In in our third part, which is the later part of this video, we will discuss treasury stock is reissued at a price below cost. So first we understand the treasury stock which is reissued at a price above cost, then we will understand below cost. Okay, so if the shares from treasury stock are reissued at a price that is higher than their cost, the difference is credited to the additional paid in capital, like APIC. The general entry is given below. Like as you can see, the cash is debited and your treasury stock and additional paid in capital APIC treasury stock is also is credited. Okay. Now suppose, for example, let's take an example, like the Eastern Company reissues 1,000 shares out of its treasury stock at $110 per share. Okay, the following journal entry would be made for this purpose, like that. Like you simply multiply 1,000 shares with $110 per share. Okay, and you get 1,10,000 as part of your cash, which you must debit it, and the other is the treasury stock amount. The treasury stock amount is, as you can see in our previous example, like the company reacquires it for $80. Okay, so we will just simply multiply 1,000 shares with $80 and we will get the treasury stock amount, which is 80,000, and the additional which is as you can see, our treasury stock reissued at 110 per share. Okay, so 30,000 is additional paid in capital in treasury stock. So that's how we can record this reissuance of treasury stock transaction at a price above cost. Okay, now what's the treatment in balance sheet? We will look at that. Now focus, there's a few confusions for you. If you understand this quite simply, it will not too much problematic. You can see, there's with this entry, the balance in treasury stock is reduced to 1,20,000, like 2 lakh minus 80,000. Its impact on the balance sheet of Eastern Company is illustrated below. Now you may think where is 2 lakh comes from, or where is 80,000 comes from. Now you can see as you can see, firstly Eastern Company repurchase the treasury stock of 2 lakh. Okay, now after this, as you can see, reissuance of treasury stock, Eastern Company reissues 1,000 shares out of its treasury stock at 110 per share, per dollar per share. Okay, now as you can see right here, the amount is 1,10,000. Okay, but the amount of treasury stock is 80,000. Okay, so as you can see, we will minus 2 lakh as part of repurchase. Okay, Eastern Company repurchases their shares with the value of 2 lakh, and now what they did is they reissue with 80,000. Okay, now 2 lakh minus 80,000 gives us 1,20,000. 2 lakh minus 80,000 gives us 120. So the treatment for our balance sheet is 1,500 shares of common at $80 cost. Like as you can see in our first example, the value of a particular treasury stock is $80, and now 1,500 shares of common at $80 cost, which is 1,20,000 that we record in our balance sheet. Okay, now, and there's one important think you notice that the additional paid in capital, it resulting from the reissuance of treasury stock, is reported immediately after additional paid in capital. Like you can see, first you record common stock, okay, then the additional paid in capital of a common stock, and then you additional paid in capital, this is for the common stock, and the additional paid in capital, this is for the treasury stock, what we recorded in our second example. If I can show you guys, here is the 30,000 amount, okay, of additional paid in capital of a treasury stock. So it is reported immediately after additional paid in capital from common stock, as you can see right here, okay. Now moving towards if treasury stock is reissued at a price below cost. If the shares from treasury stock are reissued at a price that is lower than their cost, the difference is debited to additional paid in capital, almost opposite of what we have did in our second example, okay. The journal entry is given below. What we did is we debit cash and additional paid in capital. Remember, in our second example we credit additional paid in capital, but in this we debit additional paid in capital. So you must remember these two important things while solving these types of questions. If the shares from treasury stock are issued at a price that is lower than their cost, the difference is debited to additional paid in capital. So as you can see right here on your screen, now take an example to understand this further. Suppose the Eastern Company reissues 500 more shares from its treasury stock at a price of $50 per share. So the following journal entry would be made to record this transaction is as follows. As you can see, cash is debited with 25,000 and additional paid in capital treasury stock is 15,000, and your treasury stock totals with 40,000 as part of your credit. So 500 shares multiplied by $50 gives us 25,000, which is debited as cash. And additional paid in capital, the original price of share is $80 per share, and if we talk about additional paid in capital, which is 110, as you can easily understand from the previous example, our par value, the price above cost is 110, okay. So we exclude 30 and multiply it by 500, so we get 15,000 for that. So the treasury stock, the amount is credited as 40,000. Now we will understand the treatment of this transaction. So after the reissue, the change in stockholders equity section are illustrated below. As you can easily see, we just exclude, the amount in our previous balance is 1,20,000, okay, and as you can see, it is our second example, and the amount left is 1,20,000, and as we deduct in our third example 40,000 as what we record in this, so we will left with the 80,000, okay. So we record that 80,000. So there is 80,000, and as you can see, our additional paid in capital is 15,000 in our third scenario. So we will record it just after the recording of the common stock, and then we open the additional paid in capital section, and first we record the additional paid in capital in terms of common stock, and then we will record the additional paid in capital in terms of treasury stock, okay. So this is the video for all of you guys. Hope you understand about the purchase of treasury stock under cost method. If you like this video, thumbs up, do subscribe our channel Knowledge Shopper, as well as like our Facebook page, and do join our Facebook group as well. You will find a lot of good material related to these topics as well as from other courses as well. So this is the video for all of you guys. Thank you so much everyone. It's time to say bye bye.